Okay, because John, I've had so much interference with my sound lately.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of it there, and
No. It has been so awful. I had to stop the show yesterday and start over.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's a
No,
significant.
it's happening on my mother's phone, just all of that. She said, I've lived through this before. I said,
Yeah.
okay. So we're coming up, and I'm going to do close-ups for everyone. The beautiful Jolanda, come on closer, hon, so everybody can see you, girl. I'm not wearing my red lipstick today. Now here I am, the Delta wearing pink, and she's the AKA wearing red, but that's all right.
It's all right.
Girl, look, I had a green coat and pink lips when I was pledging. Thank you.
When did you pledge?
Girl, in 1983.
I pledged in 87.
Okay. So
You pledged at Howard?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Hey, where's y'all's national headquarters?
DC.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just in Chicago.
You're down the street. You're like not even 10 minutes from me. Next neighborhood over.
Oh, okay. I need to go to our national headquarters. I've never been there.
You actually were, I wish I'd been thinking. Because you were around the corner. Literally. You were like 5 minutes away from us. So,
wait a minute. So I got it. So there's something going on right here. I don't like that black up there. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. You know what? Can you tilt it down?
If I do, you'll see the bottom of my computer. So I don't want that. Let me. Hold on. There should be another box. Hold on.
Okay. You know Representative Jones, John Nichols?
By reputation, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to introduce you so you can know her. In fact,
Okay.
someone you need
Let's see.
to
Can
know.
you see it now? Okay. So now you can't see it.
I can see something,
It looks good, I think.
but bring it down a little bit.
Bring my computer down.
Just yep, down a little
there.
bit.
You
A
can
bit
see the
further.
bottom. Hold on. That
No.
might be. Hold on. Just work with me for a second.
Okay, no worries, because I can see the top of what you're trying to obscure.
Right.
But it's such an ugly environment.
Oh yeah.
And I want you to
I'm
please
glad
send
to
me.
discuss it. Yeah.
Please send me Mr. Hightower's number.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be very responsive.
Oh, but I haven't talked to him in so long, and I'd love to reconnect.
Okay.
We'll find a way.
Let me try one thing.
Okay, no worries.
Because we rigging some shit here. But it's okay.
Yeah.
I understand. That's what I'm doing. I'm on top of jewel boxes.
My name is Riggs. Riggs.
Yes.
Let me. And even if I put this closer to me, I may be able to fix it just by putting it closer so that.
I think if you come closer, that's.
Yeah, I think if I come closer, then
and come to your left a little bit.
My left.
That's it. That's all you need to do.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. We're ready. And we're coming up in 10. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Santita Jackson Show here on AM 950 Radio, the voice of progressive Minnesota. I am so glad to welcome so many of you who are listening from all around the country. It's a joy to be with you. We've been talking about D.C., Texas. It seems like America is just, I'm not going to say on fire, but certainly it's quite active. And we need to talk about that because now, I tell you, this Texas delegation has stirred up something, John Nichols from The Nation magazine, that has really needed stirring. We see some Democrats with some bite and some fight.
Oh, yeah.
And someone who has probably the sharpest set of teeth I've seen in a long time is Texas State Representative Jolanda Jones. She's a lawyer, and yes, she does look like she's television ready because she is. But this is someone who is, as my father would say, I guess the highest compliment that he can give anyone is that they are, well, one of them is freedom fighter.
Yeah.
So they're not running away. They're running for freedom. And it's for all of us because now you've got California looking at making things right because we're seeing something that really should not happen. A mid-decade maybe census count nationally, certainly the president has called for it, but a mid-decade redrawing of a congressional district. And think about it. Sheila Jackson Lee's seat, which was filled by Sylvester Turner, God bless him, he died the night of the State of the Union. He'd been in office about two months. Well, 9 months, that seat will remain empty. Just because the governor and the president want political advantage. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about that today. We need to talk about what the Texas Democrats are doing. We're hearing all kinds of things. Are they going to stay? Will they stay or will they go? Will quorum be broken? And how many people can stay behind just to keep this going? What are the aims? What are the goals? I want to introduce you to one another on the air right now. And these are two people who should know each other. John Nichols, national correspondent for The Nation magazine, Representative Jolanda Jones, 18th District in the great state of Texas. You all should know each other, and I will connect you as we get off the air because I think it's very important that you talk. He writes brilliantly, and he needs to be talking with you about what the aims are, what the goals
Very glad to.
I cannot wait. And so, hey, everybody, I'm so glad you're here. Meet Santita Jackson on Blue Sky, santitajackson.bsky.social and at Santita J on X and Santita Jackson on and friends on Facebook. That's the only place, everybody, I can get friends. Please go there. And then, of course, we have got Santita Jackson Show, the Santita Jackson Show YouTube channel. I want to dedicate the show to someone we have grown up with, certainly, Dr. Danielle Spencer. She made her transition, of course. You do remember her. Oh, I'm going to tell mama. That's my mama. And she went on to go to Tuskegee University, and she became a veterinarian. But she had been struggling with cancer for several years. And in fact, she had suffered from the effects of a terrible car accident she had when she was actually on the show. And she lost her stepfather eventually to this car accident, but she kept on going and became this doctor of great renown. She loved animals. And she fought the good fight. And she went on home. I'm not going to say that she succumbed to cancer. Cancer is what she had. And now she has met her heavenly reward. And we thank God for all of the love that she gave to animals and all of the laughs that she gave to us while she was on this earth. So let's get right to it. John Nichols is with us just until the bottom of the hour. So with all due respect, well, you know what, John, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with Texas State Representative Jolanda Jones to help us to understand where you are. It's almost been 2 weeks, and we're hearing that you're going home, and then we're hearing that you're not going home. And we want to know what it is that we can do to support you. It seems that someone is trying to put Beto O'Rourke in jail because he's trying to support you. It's just unbelievable. What is going on, Texas State Representative Jolanda Jones?
So we're still where we are, not telling you where we are because we got the FBI hunting us down. So how's about I want to stay out of their sights. So we're 10 toes down wherever we at. But what's most important is we're not in Texas. So they will not be able to make a quorum. We're going to stay here. The governor ended up telling us that he was going to end the special session on Friday. We're going to see. The special session naturally will end on Tuesday, which I think we all were at a minimum expected to stay here at least until then. But I'm not. I mean, we'll see if he ends it on Friday. But even if he ends it on Friday, he could easily call us right back. So if you think, I promise you, I ain't no sucker. Right? I'm not about to go back to Texas and then you trap me there because he's got the FAA, which is a federal agency that can tell when we fly, right, and where we fly from. So I ain't about to go to the airport and get hemmed up by federal agents. If we're in Texas, DPS, the Texas Department of Public Safety, it's our police, our state police. They know my license plate, so they can run it and track me down. So I think the safest place for us, is to not be there. And I just, we've been so motivated we've been motivated because the people are rooting for us. The people want for us to fight. The people say they now want to fight. Look, this wouldn't be happening in California, New York, in Illinois. Did we go to Arizona, New Mexico? I can't remember which state we went to, but these governors would not be doing what they're doing. I mean, Gavin Newsom came out and said, Texas, if you do what you're going to do, we're going to wipe out all your gains because we're going to do it our damn self. Right. So we brought awareness, and what we learned from was North Carolina. So last year they did a racist redistricting where they stole 3 seats by cracking Black population, and Trump now has a 3 Republican majority in the House. So the only reason all these bad things that are happening to us are happening to us is because we weren't paying attention to North Carolina. Well, guess what? Fool me once, shame on you. So North Carolina was on them. Texas ain't gonna be on us, right? So we letting everybody know. Look, we got Republicans so scared in blue states. Republican Congress people are filing bills saying, please, no more mid-decade redistricting because we don't want to be redistricted out.
That's right.
Like we trying to do to y'all. So there are all these conversations that are happening because of what we chose to do. We decided to stand up and fight. I mean, look, I'm a little girl from 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas, little video state rep in Texas, and I'm on the Santita Jackson show, right? I've been on, I mean, just MSNBC, CNN, C-SPAN, letting the world know what's going on because it's real easy to disenfranchise people when you can do it under cover of night where nobody's paying attention. So guess what? We putting them on blast, and we're going to keep putting them on blast, and we are going to keep calling a spade a spade. These are racist redistricting maps. The Supreme Court has already said under Chief Justice Roberts that you can politically gerrymander. So Trump can power grab all he wants. That's illegal, right? But in order for him to power grab, he literally has to go with surgical precision, go and find out where all the concentrations of Black and brown people are in Texas. And then literally crack and pack those. So crack this demographic, Black and brown people. So divide us up and then spread us out to dilute our power so that we cannot elect the congressperson of our choice. Well, we're not about to let you do that. And while there are 88 Republicans in the House and there are 62 Democrats, and it only takes 76 votes to pass that racist map, well, wouldn't we be stupid if we let them conduct business when it's 88 to 62? So we pulled a gangster move and we said, y'all don't even get to that. You want to know why? Because you need 100 of the 150 of us to conduct business. And you literally cannot conduct business because we're not going to let you conduct business. And we're going to make sure we're not in Texas so you can't weaponize law enforcement around the country to get us. And so you literally cannot.
Well, we're hearing, and John, I'd love for you to jump in. We're hearing that some of you are ready to go home, and that actually this whole situation can be ended in another day or so, because enough of you will go home for them to be able to conduct the vote. Is that what is happening?
No, hell, I want to go home. I want to see my grandbaby. I got a 1.5-year-old grandbaby. She makes me happy. Like it's one of the good things I did. I had my son and he had her. I miss my mom. I miss my family. I miss my bed. I miss real food. So yeah, I miss. But what that got to do with anything?
That's right.
We are where we are, right?
And so
but I would
everyone's
imagine
strong.
that people would try to sow seeds of discontent. They would try to sow seeds of like trying to pressure people, saying like some people just gonna go home. No, we ain't going home. We out here. So we here. And we put out a statement today.
Yes.
The HTC put out a statement today and said we ain't going nowhere. We're not about to let them make a quorum to pass their racist maps. I mean, that's simple. It is what it is. So all the people that are bumping their gums, and then they have stuff to say, sit down, find you some business. Let me give you a penny so you can buy your own business and get out of ours. Because our business is saving Texas and America.
John Nichols.
Sure. Well, what we're hearing here is a contemporary version of a story we've heard before. In Wisconsin, back in 2011, the members of our state Senate, or the Wisconsin State Senate, left the state to prevent Scott Walker, the governor of the state, from passing a draconian anti-labor piece of legislation. They went to Illinois, as a matter of fact. And The same thing played out then. There were rumors that a particular legislator might be coming back, or a group might come back, or something like that. The fact of the matter is they held firm the whole time. They did not go back. Ultimately, it was a different dynamic, and we don't have to get into that. But the bottom line is there'll be a lot of twists and turns on this. And as long as these Texas legislators, these courageous Texas legislators, hold firm in what they're doing, they can stop this from happening. And I really appreciate the representative's wisdom here, because as she said, fool me once versus fool me twice. She knows full well that the Texas Republicans will have tricks up their sleeves. And so the smart move is to hold back. Don't go rushing back quickly, because you want to make sure that the session isn't going to get restarted or something like that. This is the important thing to understand. These legislators, and the representative won't say this herself, these legislators are sacrificing. They're doing something that isn't easy. Nobody wants to sit in a hotel far from home, day after day, week after week. That's a difficult thing to do. But they're doing it because they believe that we are at a critical juncture for American democracy. And they're exactly right. This is a really vital thing to understand here. What Donald Trump is doing is a straight-on assault on representative democracy. Representative democracy in the United States works in a certain way. Every 10 years, we redraw the lines. We elect people to Congress to represent us. If a president of the United States is out of line, if that president's doing the wrong thing, then the people know at the next congressional election, they can vote for representatives, send them out to Washington, and upend that president, i.e. prevent that president from doing the harm. Many Americans have, over the last 6 months, said, well, yeah, this is really tough. These are terrible times. We're seeing awful legislation coming out of Washington, but we know in 2026, we can make this thing right. Donald Trump is trying to take that away from us. It's trying to take away from us our ability to make things right in 2026. It's coming down to Texas. Representative democracy will live or die in Texas, right? Because if Donald Trump gets away with this, if he gets away with taking these 5 seats, moving them over, not having the special election for Representative Turner's seat, if he gets away, if all this happens, right, in this very closely divided circumstance, yes, other states are going to jump in. California, maybe New York, maybe Illinois and other states, they'll jump in. But then we're going to be in a crisis and chaotic situation across the country where, we're going to have seats being moved one way or the other. Folks are going to be very confused. It's going to be very, it's not going to be a healthy way to go into an election cycle. So the way to fix this thing is to not get down the track to all the other states. Get it right in Texas. And you have with you today a heroic state representative, one of a number of state reps, who are saying exactly that. They are sacrificing to try and get it right in Texas. If we stop this seizure of power at this point, then we go to the 2026 elections in a relatively still difficult circumstance, but one where we can remove, actually, we can counter what's going on in Washington. That's very critical. If it doesn't get right in Texas, Santita, Representative, I promise you, we're going to be doing shows like this 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 10 months from now, because they're going to be over in Florida redrawing the lines, or they're going to be up in Ohio redrawing the lines, or they're going to be out in Kansas redrawing the lines, or in Missouri, or in Georgia. And the chaos that will occur will benefit Donald Trump. Because even if California sees his seats back and things like that, Donald Trump will use that chaos to his own advantage.
It's
so,
not.
Go ahead.
I actually don't think it's gonna just benefit Donald Trump. I think it's going to destroy. I think it's going to destroy us.
Yes.
Right. Because I don't think people are really thinking about what Donald Trump's going to do with the power. People want to know what you're doing to me. Like, what have you done for me?
That's right.
So I would respectfully submit to you, if Donald Trump is able to hold the House, what's going to happen? We're probably in a world war. Probably. Mm-hmm. We've already had people kicked off of Medicare and Medicaid. Mm-hmm. Look, I'll be 60 in November. I know I don't look it, but I will be 60.
Much younger.
The bottom line is this. People's bodies don't work like they used to when you get older, not because you didn't take care of yourself, but because it's with wear and tear.
That's
You
right.
got 60 years or whatever on you.
Hello.
And so we need our health care, right? My
Mhm.
grandmother had Medicare, and me and my aunts actually had to pay to put in the money for my grandmother to be able to afford her prescription medication. Okay. We wanted my grandmother to have what she needed. We've all paid into Social Security our adult lives. It's not welfare. We shouldn't have to work. We worked our whole lives and paid into Social Security. How you gonna take my Social Security or take your Social Security so Donald Trump can give tax breaks to billionaires? Are you smoking crack? I mean, come on now. How are you going to literally deport United States citizens? How does that work? He said he was going to deport criminals. He's literally trying to unnaturalize people who went through the process. He literally, on the cool, fired all these immigration judges. People didn't think anything of it. They were like, what they got to do with me? You want to know what it got to do with you? They literally have created undocumented people. There were people who had court cases who were going through the process to try to be here legally. The second their cases got dismissed, they became undocumented, and he literally made them into criminals. Let's talk about separating families. That's giving me remnants of slavery, where they used to take us and split up our families and put one on this plantation and one on this plantation where you don't know nobody. We deporting people to countries they ain't never been to. This is history repeating itself. Let's talk about, let's say, the Anglo farmers who thought Donald Trump was going to get rid of the illegals. Like, what is an illegal? Nobody is illegal. We're all legal. God made us exactly how he intended for us to be. But guess what? Now they don't have a workforce at their farms. So guess who's paying for it? We are when we go buy higher groceries. Guess why else our groceries are higher? Because I was listening to a farmer on CNN or one of them stations, and he was like, when I went to go buy my John Deere tractor to do my farm, I found out I was paying name brand John Deere price, but it was like made in China. So it cost me more money, and I got to pass those costs off to the people who buy at the end. You remember them $15 backpacks we used to have? Well, now they cost $50. So I feel real bad for parents who have kids of school age because they just started school again. I could go, them eggs that used to cost $6 cost $13 now. My point is, what happened in North Carolina, we paying for, like literally out of our pockets. That's why you need to pay attention. And so forget Donald Trump. He gonna get what he got. Right?
Well, but you're summing it up very well, Representative. This is all of these issues come in play. The only reason Trump becomes relevant is that what we've seen over the last, as you well point out, an empowered Donald Trump who has a Congress on his side doesn't stop. He keeps going. He keeps coming up with new things that are going to make people's lives dramatically more difficult. And we have a system in this country that allows us to check and balance presidents at these midterm elections. They are very powerful. And you want to know, this is the interesting thing. The Republicans know this. They know that in 2018, they were disempowered. They had that first Trump term. They were doing all these tax cuts for the rich. And then suddenly we had the 2018 election. And what did the people do? They said, hey, we don't want to go along with this. We don't want this to continue. That put a roadblock in front of the Trump administration, the Republicans. They couldn't keep doing what they wanted to do. We are now at that exact same point where we're going to have 2026 elections. If our representatives from Texas hold firm, we can check and balance. We can make the system work. But if they cheat on this system, if they rig it in a way where you can't have a check and balance, where we can't push back, then we cross a line as a country to a place where it may be dramatically difficult to get back what we have lost. And so this Texas fight, and I wrote a piece on this not long ago, this Texas fight is the critical juncture for American democracy right now. And again, human beings are involved. We have the representative with us, and she'd like to see a grandchild. You know what? This is true again and again and again for these legislators. They are sacrificing because they recognize how serious this is. The rest of us have to recognize as well. As you said, Beto O'Rourke down in Texas, He's trying hard to do it. He's taken some real risks. He's out there making a lot of noise. Other people are as well. But at the heart of this thing is the legislators. If they will hold firm, and they are, they become, folks that history books will write about 100 years from now, 200 years from now. And good historians will say, this was the point at which somebody took a risk, took a chance, did something courageous, and saved the American experiment. We call it an experiment because it's never complete. We're always working on it. We're always trying to make it better. But experiments can go wrong. We are at the critical juncture where things could go very, very wrong. They already have in many ways. And that's why we're watching this. And I'm only on for a couple more minutes. I wish I could stay on for hours with you. But one of the reasons that Santita, you and your father and I and a lot of other people, some of us have worked for a very long time, and the representative as well. We've worked for a very long time to get us to a certain point. We know we're not where we need to be, but we know that there's been progress. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we're now at a point where if we don't hold the line and fight hard, we're not talking about progress anymore. We are talking about the deconstruction of, where we're at, going back to a pre-Voting Rights Act position, going back to a point before so many of the things that we've accomplished that others, much braver, better people than I, accomplished. And that for society, that is a disempowering reality. It's also an overwhelming reality. The notion that you're not moving in the right direction, not even that the possibilities to move in the right direction are being shut down. And so I'm very honored to be on with the representative today, because I feel like I'm on with somebody who will be in history books and will be, we'll talk about this moment. And if she gets enough support, if other members of this caucus, this Democratic caucus in Texas, get enough support, their story will be a story of heroism that succeeded. There's another story of heroism that didn't succeed. We know those stories. I want us to err on the side of success. I want us to err on the side of making sure that this democracy, this American experiment, goes forward in a way that works. And so this representative is on with us. She is fighting for the whole country. She's fighting for people in Texas and Maine and Florida and California and Wisconsin and Minnesota, because if it goes bad in Texas, then our ability to check and balance could well be lost. So this is, I keep telling people this is the biggest story we got going in America right now. And I'm honored to take a couple minutes, Santita and Representative, to join you and just put an exclamation mark on it. That's all I'm doing, is saying,
well,
how a big deal this is.
Well, part of the reason that I wanted you here also with Representative Jones is he's the co-author of the New York Times bestseller, It's Okay to Be Angry About Capitalism, with Bernie Sanders. And John came through both Jackson campaigns, and which Bernie Sanders came out of and all of that. Mm-hmm. And it's a fighting spirit. This is what Darrell has said to you, Representative Jones. Yes, the Democrats are finally fighting Trump, and the GOP, like cats and dogs, don't give up, in or out, stand until you can't stand no more. The GOP are standing. You must stand up to, and so they cannot win. Then you have someone else who offered you, a man, an alpha, and two alphas. He said preferably alphas.
I mean, you know what I feel like?
In his home. I mean, you have people who, when they hear the story, when they see you, you went to several churches this past weekend. You have to continue to do that. When they were in Illinois, that's what they have been doing. And people, when they hear the story,
when they hear it, they know, right? This is not complicated stuff. The challenge is people have to hear it. I have to leave. I apologize, but the critical thing is, Representative, keep it up.
Thank you.
Just keep strong. I'm praying for you. I'm hoping for you. Oh, all of us need it every day. But the fact of the matter is that when you're out there doing the work of justice, when you're doing the work of democracy, it can sound overwhelming. It can sound difficult, but there's joy in it as well, and that morning is coming. And when that morning comes, I just have a feeling that we might just pull this off, but we're not going to pull it off because of me or even Santita. We'll just hopefully give you a platform. We're going to pull it off because you're doing what you're doing, and
Right.
I thank you for it.
You know what? Before you get off, I want to say something really quickly. I
Yes.
always try to, I'm a trial lawyer, right? So I've got to be persuasive and try to
Oh,
get
yeah.
people to pick my side, right? And this is what I say. Some people don't understand the notion of democracy, right? They don't understand that this is an experiment. They don't understand that because they're struggling to pay their lights, their water,
Right.
find daycare. So I'm about to simplify it, okay? Here's the deal. We read in history books, or at least we did before they created this DEI stuff. We read about the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
Yes.
We read about the Montgomery bus boycott. We read about Dr. King being assassinated. We read about Malcolm X being assassinated. We read about Emmett Till being murdered. We read about those things in the history books. And then we learned that those things, when they were happening, wherever they happened at, spurred on the nation to
That's
do
right.
things to better humanity.
Mhm.
And we read about those things. And at least for me, I was like, well, man, we haven't had anything like that. Like, I bet you if I was alive back then, I would have been marching on that bridge. Or if I was alive back then, I would have walked. I wouldn't have got on the bus when my money wasn't worth the same as white people's. And this is our Edmund Pettus Bridge moment. Like, we are going to read about this because here's why they need to control Congress. Congress is powerful. There are
Yep.
3 things that Congress can do that can totally derail Trump's vision of America, which is an America where Black people and brown people have no power. And we can vote against his stuff. So if he would have just filled Congressional District 18, we would have voted down his
Right.
horrible budget, right? But that was empty. He stole those 3 seats in North Carolina, like I talked about. Congress can vote against his stuff. Congress can investigate the hell out of you. And he needs to be investigated because everything he does is illegal. You know, why his family making all this money? He accepted money from billionaires. I could go on and on. I'm not going to talk about that. And the third thing Congress can do is we can impeach him. That's why he wants to control Congress. He don't want us to investigate him because he don't want us to talk about them damn Epstein files, right? And so my point is, he's very strategic in what he's doing. And the world is
Yes.
run by those who show up. And when you said we sacrifice, I need for you to hear this. Yeah, we're sacrificing because we're here. We make $600 a month. Okay? Out of that $600, I pay my health insurance, my pension, and my union dues. That's what I do. Okay? And so who can live off of $600 a month? So I got to have a real job to pay my bills. Okay? I ain't married to no billionaire, right? Nor am I married to a millionaire. In fact, I ain't married at all. But that's not the point. I digress. The next thing is they've cut our office budgets. We haven't abandoned our duties. So that's a lie. I literally have constituents calling my office right now that have problems. Maybe they have something going on with the prison system, a family members being mistreated. Maybe they can't find affordable housing. Maybe they need a job. Maybe they need to do a trade. There are all these things that we do to help our constituents that the governor and the speaker are affecting my office's ability to provide for Texans because he's cut my budget by 30%, which means I can't make payroll, right? To pay the people that are doing the business of the state. So they're lying. So don't let them pee on us and tell us it's raining. And the way that you stop a bully is you have to, if they bust you in the face, you need to bust them right back. You need to bust them back harder. In North Carolina, this is why Trump thinks he can get away with this shit. In North Carolina, they stole seats and ain't nobody say nothing. So people don't know why we paying more for stuff. It's because they stole them seats in North Carolina last year. So guess what? Texas is saying, you bust me, I'm gonna bust you back. And oh, by the way, we went and got our reinforcements. We did talk to California. And guess what? They gonna bust you back too. And we're gonna go talk to New York. And that will bust you back too. And let's go talk to Illinois. That will bust you back too. You ain't the only one that can bust people in their face. Now, people who didn't grow up in the hood, you may not understand that. But as a person who grew up in 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas, that's how we roll. That's the only way. A bully will take advantage of you, will continue to oppress you if you let them. And sometimes you swing hard enough and you'll make them go want to mess with somebody else. And that's exactly what we're doing to him.
Well, I'm gonna head out now, but I'm gonna say one thing that I heard in what the representative just said when she was talking about what Congress could do, and then she said "we," and I thought to myself, well, maybe we're looking at a congressional candidate here. With that, I'm gonna let you both go,
Yes.
and I'm so appreciative of the chance to be with you for a few minutes.
I just love you, John Nichols. The
Thank you,
newsman.
John Nichols.
Love you right
I
back.
hope to get to know you better, John
I
Nichols.
want to get to know you both a lot better. I really appreciate the leadership you're giving, and I want to keep hearing you talk about that. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Sending you so much love.
Take care.
Everybody get the book. It's okay to be angry about capitalism. It's okay, along with, of course, Bernie Sanders. And so let's continue this conversation. We only have about 20 more minutes here, but I'm going to get everything I can from Representative Yolanda Jones from Texas, because, you know, in 1993 or 1994, you had Tom DeLay, who was at the time so powerful, and he flexed.
And he a little bitty man.
Teeny weeny, but
Tiny.
but he used that power, but it didn't quite work. And he was very open about the fact that he was doing this not for Texas, but for Washington. It seems that this is not being done for Texas. This is for Washington, because weren't you supposed to be voting on that catastrophic flood from the 4th of July weekend?
And we literally asked, hold on for a second. We literally asked the governor to put that on the call, and he didn't. So we had over 130 Texans die. Almost 40 of them were kids. Some are still missing. And we said, we want to deal with that.
Wait a minute, they're still missing now.
Yes. And they haven't found everybody. And so we asked him to do that. But redistricting was most important. So pleasing Trump was more important than taking care of Texans and even taking care of Texas children. And even apart from the death, people lost their homes. I mean, if you've ever been a victim of a flood, how hard is it to go fix your stuff, build your house back, get back what you lost? So we've always wanted to do that. And we asked him to do that. We asked him to put the flood first, and he didn't. He wanted to racistly redistrict instead of putting the flood first. That's on him. So you're not now about to hold us hostage, right? And try to create fiction about the narrative. It's just not true. Just like you're saying that we have committed crimes. No, we haven't. We are literally being hunted down by the FBI for crimes we didn't commit, for things that are made up. I heard I literally have a wanted poster for me. What? For fighting for my constituents? 3 of the districts that are targeted, my House district sits there. So CD9, CD18, and CD29, my constituents deserve a right to be able to elect the congressperson of their choice and not be told you're going to be in this district because I don't want you to be able to pick somebody who will represent you. And so you now want to criminalize me and say I did something illegal to push your narrative and say I've abandoned my duties. That's just not true. And so we can't believe what they're saying. And if you paid attention to Trump, when his lips are moving, he's lying. So, and the people that are following him are doing the same things. I worked too long and too hard to come up from the hood where almost all of my uncles went to prison, and very many of my aunts and cousins my age are on welfare and stuff, to get a great public education, have the village surround me and help me make it out, to be a lawyer, to use my brain to help us and somehow get elected and be in a position to stand in a gap for Texas specifically and the United States generally. So everybody in this country needs to be paying attention to what's going on in Texas. And trust me, right now you can take your vote for granted. Keep Trump in office and we might not have a vote. I'm just telling you.
When you look at what is this, take us inside of this group who are pushing back against the governor, who is being pushed by Washington, D.C. but not. I don't think Governor Abbott it needs a lot of pushing because it seems like this is part of his agenda, right? How are people? How are you feeling? Help us to understand this on a human level, because as John Nichols was pointing out, as you just said, it's hard to believe it, but I'm going to believe you because you said it. You're a grandma, so and you have got a family. You've got a son. You've got family back in Texas. You have a whole career that you need to feed yourself while you're being fined every single day. And the person who said, I want to help you with these bills, they outlawed that. What is going through your mind right now?
So this is not normal, right?
No.
I never would have thought that I've worked so hard to not be a statistic, right? As the oldest in a single family household, a Black household, that I could be a lawyer, I could be elected, and I'm being hunted by the FBI. Like, I gotta not answer phone calls, stay in my room because I'm easily recognizable. I don't want people to see a wanted poster. I don't want to be arrested. I didn't do anything. But apart from that, I can't be with my family. I miss my grandbaby. I do. I want to be with her. So I just have to be okay with FaceTiming her. I want to sleep in my own bed. I want to eat my own food. I want to be free to just exist how I want to exist. But yes, I want these things, but I also want for us to have a democracy, and I want for us being everybody to be able to elect who we think is going to fight for us so we can have a fair shot. And so I mean, I didn't intend to like get all emotional, but we're tough. We need each other to, we need reinforcements. So like the nice things that are there, they make us know that this isn't not for in vain. But I know that the light will come later, right? It will come later.
It's coming, but you're helping us to see the price that people pay.
It's hard.
It is hard. My brother was at a school, and it took him back to someone who had been teasing his children about it was a photo of our father, his child's grandfather, getting arrested. And he had just been arrested for something here in Chicago. And this little boy was giving my nephew the business. But in that same school, there was a mural, and Reverend is on it. And my brother said, now, when you go back to school, ask him why his father's not upon that mural. Not for fame, Jolanda, for service. See, in South Africa, if you've not been arrested, you're suspect. Okay? Sus, as we say. What's up with you? Why did no, you want the savior, don't pass me by. But the police, no. If you're in the freedom struggle, no, you're gonna take some hits. You're gonna get audited, you're gonna miss some paychecks, miss some jobs, all of that. You pay. If you've not paid, then you're not playing. You've got I mean, you're a former athlete, come on. That you have to play, you have to perform your best when you are most exhausted. I'm a
Absolutely.
singer. You are not singing until your lungs are just you're tired. Okay? And that's what this is. And I'm glad that people are seeing that from you, because you're beautiful, you're elegant, and people see this model and they're like, wait a minute, she's really a representative. Oh, okay. And then you've got all this fire, and then you're like, wait a minute, I miss my grandbaby. But she's going to look back and see you.
It's a struggle on the family too, right? I mean, I only have one grandchild. My son would love for me to be there. But I said, Gio, this is bigger than us.
Let me tell you,
it's just bigger than us.
Do you know how proud they are going to be of you? Trust and believe. I promise you. I promise you. I look at my father and mother now, And I say, now either you all are the bravest people I've ever known, or you're absolutely insane. But I think of Reverend James Bevel and Marion Berry, who were raised on the same plantation in Mississippi, and they came out and changed the world. I think of Dr. King sitting in a jail every time he went to prison. He didn't know if he was going to get out. That's why when Robert Kennedy sought to get him out, and John Kennedy sought to get him out of jail in Alabama, when his father said, look, I'm going to not be a Republican in this, I've got to vote for these people because he saved my son, because every time he was arrested, these people wanted to kill him. What you're doing is so important, because right now our Medicare, our Medicaid, our Social Security, wait a minute, we're being monitored to death. And what I'm seeing in the chat lines, that people are so excited to see Democrats fighting. You're fighting, and you're fighting back. And you, oh my goodness, you, Jolanda Jones, are taking to them. Now, we love that. I want you to know. Oh, hold it. Okay? No. Now, as Chaparral said now, she said, we stand with you. And we want to know how it is that we can support you. Well, now I'll let you know, Chaparral is a chef. So Chaparral, you heard her. They are missing some really good food. So if we can work with you, Chaparral, I will work with you, Chaparral, because they need some down home cooking. But and when people hear that, you just heard people want to offer you places to stay. They want to know, how can we help you?
You know what, Santita, I'll call you and let you know. Obviously, you can support us financially with the Texas Legislative Black Caucus. And I think you may have the link. You can give it to them. I'm actually running for Congress for Congressional District 18. My name is Jolanda Jones. And look, let me tell people how to know my
Don't
name.
bury the lead. Come on, you run for Congress. Where is that and why?
In Congressional District 18, what the district that's empty because Congressman Turner died. It's in Houston. I was born and raised in Congressional District 18. Barbara Jordan, Mickey Leland, Craig Washington, Sheila Jackson Lee, Sylvester Turner have represented Congressional District 18, and we need somebody who fights. They have a legacy of fighting. You know, Barbara Jordan is your sorority sister. Congresswoman Jackson Lee is my sorority sister. Sylvester Turner was my frat. He was in Alpha. So, it's hard, and sometimes I do really. It weighs on me that I miss my granddaughter, but most times I'm like, okay, Jolanda, just FaceTime her. You can't hug her right now, but you'll be able to see her again. But if they pass those maps, those racist maps, then we will lose representation and we won't get it back. We won't get it back, and we just won't get it. So it's hard. And we're strong, like we fortify each other. We 10 toes down. We still here. We ain't going nowhere. We're in Texas. We need to stay away from there because they will weaponize law enforcement against us. And as Black people, we understand the weaponization of law enforcement. I mean, that's how we got the police. Mm-hmm. They were like right after slave patrols. They want to catch us, capture us, and drag us back to the plantation. That is the House floor of the Texas legislature. And we just cannot allow them to do that. We just can't.
In cuffs and maybe in even shackles too, because this is how these people are doing it today.
Because they want to perp walk us. They literally want that visual out there. And that's what sort of reminds me of with lynching, how they would take our strongest Black men and they would draw and quarter them in front of us so that we could see them take and dismantle our strongest. And what that does is it whips people into line. So that stops Black men from being strong because they don't want that to happen to them, to try to create docile men, and so whenever we have Black people who are leaders, they either assassinate us or they try to perp walk us and turn us into criminals. And it's just a trope. It's a caricature. It's not right. And we just have to fight. I've been Black all my life, and all my life I've been fighting. So it is what it is.
So the aim is what? Give us the goals. What
the goal? Well, so the goal is for us to stay strong enough to hopefully stop these maps by denying them a quorum. As I said earlier in the show, they have 88, we have 62. 62 is never going to beat 88. So the only way we stop them is to deny them a quorum. And we need for us not to go back. They are three short. 9 Democrats have gone on the floor. So we're three short. So we need to stay strong. We need to fortify each other. We need to stay strong. We put out a strong statement. The Texas House Democratic Caucus sent out a statement saying we are not going to give them the quorum to pass them racist maps. That's simple. That's it.
And I understand, and I think it bears repeating that Jasmine Crockett's seat, she's vulnerable, that Al Green is vulnerable, Mike Vesey is vulnerable. And some of you might even, I just put you in Congress already, but some of these congresspersons might be facing each other.
Oh, for sure. So what they did with Jasmine's seat, she currently represents CD 30. They literally put her house in CD 33, which is Mark Vesey, who's a Black congressperson. So Jasmine and Mark got to bloodbath each other to try to stay elected. Only one of them is going to survive. So they literally are taking a Black congressional person out of the Dallas area. In Houston, the same thing. Congressman Green is a guy who shook his cane at the State of the Illusion address and said impeach Trump, and they took him off the House floor, and he has to run. They literally moved his house to CD 18. So he doesn't live in his district anymore. They made his district, his Hispanic district, Republican, but a white Republican can win that seat. But the only way they've been able to draw these maps is to divide up in a racial way Black and brown, the Black and brown population. And so Congressman Green is going to have to run against the other Black seat in there. So they're going to get rid of one. So Texas has the largest population of Black people in the United States, of every state. And they're going to whittle down our representation to 2 from 4. That's BS. That's BS. And it's racist. It's racist and it's wrong. And you know what? I just can't stand around and be complicit. I cannot be a co-conspirator. And we as the Democratic Caucus, we're not going to be co-conspirators. We're just not.
So you do see this as being bigger than Texas. And I think that's why we needed to get you out to these churches. And we still have to get you to do that, because when people hear the story, number one, it gives us the information, it changes our minds, but also Texas State Representative Jolanda Jones, what it does is it helps us to see some people who are fighting back. Mamie Till Mobley, when she opened that casket, the only way they let her bring her son back to from Mississippi to Chicago, they made her promise, because she had to beg to get his body back.
Which is wrong.
Which is crazy. Don't open the casket. She said, okay. As soon as they pulled into that train station, she said, open it up. No, open it. And then she had that open casket. She opened it so everybody could see.
So the world could see.
And I think that's what you all are doing.
We are opening it. We're opening it. And let me be clear. Donald Trump don't start none, won't be none. But if you start it, we're going to finish. That's some hood talk right there.
Why do you want to go to Washington?
I want to go to Washington because I believe I have a certain skill set. I'm a trial lawyer. I'm an effective communicator, and I'm unafraid. And my constituents have asked me to run. Like, they literally asked me to run. They've been asking me to run for years. I think timing is everything. I mean, the first time they asked me, my son was in high school. I couldn't leave my child. I'm a single parent. You know, another time after that, I was elected to other positions. And I was never going to run against Congresswoman Jackson Lee. Hell, I would have voted just like her. So why would I try to take her out? Right? So we literally don't have a congressperson, and my constituents have said, this is funny, run, Joe, run. They really didn't say that, but you know, you get what I'm trying to do. But I believe that I have worked long and hard. My constituents know me. I've literally been elected 11 times in Congressional District 18, 11 times. People know me. They know that I'm consistent. They know that I fight for Black people. That's just what I do. I fight for poor people. And for people who don't know, y también hablo español. Y hay mucha gente en CD 18 que habla solamente español. So puedo comunicar con ellos. And I'm not about to translate for people who don't speak Spanish, but there's a Spanish contingent in our district. And I understand I used to be married to a Colombian. I have Afro-Latino kids. And I have had some people in my family who've had immigration problems. So I understand that as well. There's a lot going on. And you need someone who understands the issues. And I'm from Third Ward, Houston, Texas. I'm not Hispanic, but I chose to learn Spanish because I wanted to learn something other than what was in my neighborhood. And so I believe that I know CD18. I was born in CD18. My father was born in CD18. My father died in CD18, you know. And so that's why I'm running. And I also, quite frankly, would love to go there and fight with Jasmine. I mean, can you imagine 2 trial lawyers, both of whom went to the University of Houston, giving Trump the blues? I mean, come on now. Jasmine literally brought me up yesterday. She was on, I guess, Don Lemon and D.L. Hughley's show. And brought me up. I understand the issues. I understand the law. And we have got to, from a legal perspective, make sure we call this what it is, which is racist gerrymandering, because political gerrymandering is legal. And so when you're a lawyer, you're able to lay the proper legal framework to be able to win in court.
Representative Jolanda Jones, Texas State Representative. She is running for Congress now, everybody. So pay attention to that. And Kathy says, love you, sister. You got a lot of love here. And I just want you to know I'm going to bring you on as much as I can. We're going
Thank you.
Let everybody know who you are, where you are, and that you're running for Congress.
www.yolandajones.com. Not Yolanda with a J, not Yolanda with a Y, Yolanda with a J. It's a made-up Black name.
Come on. Hello. I know my name is Spanish, but I got it. I ain't mad at you. Sending you so much love.
Thank you.
State Representative Jolanda Jones. Love you, girl. Love you, love you, love you.
I appreciate you. I love you back.
Oh, absolutely. My sister from the great state of Texas.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Thank
Divine
you for educating
night, right
us.
on time, girl.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
Bye-bye.
AM 950 Radio, the voice of progressive Minnesota, the Santita Jackson Show with Jolanda Jones. Let's talk about what's happening in Gaza. That's right, in Gaza. They've been killing these journalists. The Al Jazeera, the most popular, probably most popular journalist who was covering Gaza, was killed. So let's talk about that. And we'll also continue this discussion about Texas. I want you all to tell everybody about it, Daryl and Kathy and Carol and Robert and everybody, Chaparral. More of the Santita Jackson Show here on AM 950 Radio in just a few minutes.